All right, Shalom Akim, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the elders and apostles from GMS, and peace, blessing to you brothers that's doing this work in truth and in sincerity, and shalom to the elect. So this is Samat coming to you, like I said, with another lesson, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And I want to talk about, using the world, not abusing the world. What is it? What does it mean to use the world? All right, well, using the world is using the things, right? Taking advantage, if you will, of the things of this world, for your benefit, ultimately, without the what? Without the cost of your own spirit, right? Or your morals. So, right, we use this world by, brothers have certain pleasures, all right? Brothers might start a business. Brothers may utilize some of Esau's programs, like, what's this shit? Food stamps, using Esau's healthcare, certain tax benefits and breaks for, being a part of whatever the case is, using this world for your advantage while you're here without costing you your morality, all right, or without going off in the eyes of the Lord. Now, what is abusing the world? On the contrary, right? Abusing the world is as it sounds, right? You overindulge in the things of this world to the point where they have a negative effect on you, okay? They cost you your morality, all right? You'll end up engaging in things that you shouldn't be engaging in, all right? You end up doing things that will cost you or encourage you to go off, Like one thing, for example, is a big controversy that may go about this, but, I've had to deal with this myself, and, ultimately I just kept it in the spirit. But if you are in this truth, you have your beard, and you get offered a job opportunity, and that job opportunity says, yo, you got to shave your beard in order for this, you got to be clean shaven for this job, and they're offering, a pretty competitive or substantial salary, and you consider it, and you actually take the job for what? For money, ultimately, that's what is considered abusing the world, all right? You allow the world to dictate your actions at the cost of your own morality, right? Your moral beliefs. When, there's more than one way to make money, man, not just from that job, And people in the world will try to tell you, oh, God sent you this opportunity, man. No, don't let the people of this world and their worldly ideologies try to convince you otherwise. So, quick testimony, and what inspired the lesson. So, myself, for example, and I'm speaking code, because you never know who's watching, right? You never know who will stumble across this lesson. So for, Clark Kent sake, I'm going to go ahead and speak in code here. So I got accepted into this particular organization, and this particular organization required me to get, particular juices, if you will, particular food options, and they required it. And me being in the spirit, and me being trying to be as righteous and as wholesome as possible, I ultimately tried to get around it, but it turns out that I had to take these particular extracurriculars. And I hope you brothers and sisters are catching my drift, right? And so, and these are things that you should have had, taking action in when you were younger. But apparently, I guess over time, you don't really keep a lot of the records. So I end up saying to myself, okay, I'm gonna chalk this organization. I'll let them know, like, hey, I appreciate the opportunity, but I'm no longer going to be able to be a part of this organization, right? And they said to me, well, if you submit a certain form, you can, it has to be approved or denied, and if it's approved, then you can move forward. If not, then you can't. So, Spirit hopped on. I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's use the world. So I went on and used Esau's terminology for my form, and which the reasons for me not partaking in these extracurricular activities were valid and true and 100% factual, but the particular terminology behind it wouldn't be accepted if I use, if you catch my drift, brothers and sisters. It's kind of like if you apply for, if you want to go into a church, you can't call on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh. You can't say, yeah, Yahweh Shai, because they're not going to understand your terminology. You have to say Jesus, right? And if you're trying to get something out the church, are you going to just be over righteous and say, I'm not going to go up in there and say, hey, I heard from Yahweh, from Jesus, that I'm here to collect my check in the name of Jesus, or whatever the case is, right? Something that don't really involve you stepping outside your morals. So I use Esau's terminology, and long story short, I ended up getting my form approved, and I was able to be a part of this organization, and being a part of this organization was profitable to me, financially, in terms of schedule and many other things. So that was just me using this world, for the benefit. And, and being in the spirit, you gotta understand the Most High will open up doors for you. All right. So it says in Joshua 1:8, when you serve the Most High and you meditate on these laws day and night, all right, he's going to then what? He's going to make your ways prosperous. All right. You don't have to really want for nothing or need for nothing, because what the Romans 8 says, the Spirit maketh intercession for us, for things that cannot be uttered in words, right? So you might have certain desires, but the things that you're in need of, the Most High will open those doors for you without you even really having to ask. All the Most High asks is that you serve Him in truth and in sincerity, right? And of course, you take necessary actions that you need to, and then the Most High will, do the rest. So like, all you have to do is walk forward, right? And then the Most High is going to, and then clear the obstacles and allow you to make it to where you got to go. All right, so that's how we use this world, but we don't abuse it. All right, you don't want to become a part of this society. All right, you want to be in this society, and you want to be using it to the benefit of yourself, but then it's kind of like you're in a bubble, because you're in a bubble in society, but yet you're not taking part in the pleasures and ideologies that the people do. All right, because they're in the world, they're of the world, they're assimilated into the very being, right? They're into the culture and into the entertainment, and they're into the religions and the cultures and what the scriptures say, the philosophies, pursuing the what? Colossians 2:8, I'm gonna say, or 3:8. I believe it's 2:8. All right, where Yahweh Shai said, "Be not fooled by the philosophies of men," right, or the rudiments of this world. So we're not fooled, we're not spoiled. All right, we have understanding that the Most High made the world for our sakes. And once you understand that the Most High made the world for your sake, you being Yasha Allah, right, and Lord willing of the elect, right, the hopeful elect, you have to understand that even in this current society, the Most High will still give you blessings. All right, the Most High will still set you up in a way where at the end of the day, He knows what you can handle and what you cannot handle. All right, as long as you always keep a positive and cheerful spirit and mentality, no matter what you're going through. All right, you can use the world. Don't be afraid to, to have pleasures, and don't be afraid to, don't think that, you have to be in a box, or you have to subjugate yourself to, being with, just being a weirdo, you know. I don't know what the word is for it. Salakia for my, my lack of proper terminology, but you know, you don't have to be subjugated to just being mediocre, you know. We're humble through the spirit, you know. We're humble, and we're always going to remain humble, you know. We're always going to be in the mindset of giving Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah the glory and the praise and the honor. So that's, you gotta understand that, like, look at it like that. When you do certain things and you come up in this world in some way, shape, or form, don't think that you're not of the elect because you had some type of profit in this world. You know, if your mentality is giving the Most High the praise and not having attachment to anything in this world, any profits that you have or any possessions or achievements, as long as you don't have the mentality of having attachment to those things, then you're good money, you know. Bro, I could win $1 million tomorrow, $100,000, $100 million tomorrow, and buy all this shit. And, you know, of course, my mentality is going to be looking out for brothers, you know. Now, you know, prior to this truth, I wasn't thinking like that. But now that I'm in this truth and I've met so many beautiful brothers, and even brothers I haven't really met personally, but I know through, social media, or whatever the case is, or I know I know of other brothers through brothers that I know personally. I now would take that and I would bless brothers. You know, I don't need 100 mil. I want the Lord to come back. I want the kingdom. You know, I'd take 100 mil and I'd divvy out, damn near half, if not more of that, to just the brotherhood, you know. But then, it's like you really save it. It's like, but that kind of thing right there just doesn't make sense for the Most High to do, because essentially what that would do is that's basically saving brothers, making brothers live lavishly in this world and not really feel like they in the need of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So there's a balance to it, right? The Most High is not going to give you excess, right? 100 mil is an excess. Even $1 million is an excess. Because you're still always going to be in that mindset of like, yo, man, I'm good money. I'm chilling. Even here in Babylon, I'm chilling. Nah. The Most High is going to keep you in that grind mentality. Even if a brother is making good money, a brother might be making 100K, 150K. That's good money, but that's not really nothing crazy. That's nothing really crazy to the point where you're like, you can escape society type money. No, like you still are dependent upon your income to live. You know what I mean? Where people who have, multi-millions, they could stop working. They could buy everything they need to cash with probably $1 million or less, and literally just not have to work or grind ever again. They could just live off of their land. They could buy a house and land with acres of land and grow a farm and build a well and, their own self-sustaining energy system. And the only thing they got to pay is little small, utility bills, but they can have $1 million in the bank and live off that $1 million for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? Just an example I'm trying to make. That type of money, it doesn't make sense for the Most High to give the elect, because you're going to be in that spirit that Solomon said in Proverbs, give me neither poverty nor riches, right? Because when you have riches, that's riches. You don't feel like you're in need of anything. You don't have to pray to the Lord because you're not in need of anything, and that's what that kind of money can do. But then you don't want to be in poverty, because being in poverty, you're stressing, right? That's the thing. Like when you are really hurting for money and you got bills and you can't do anything, that puts a level of stress on you that constantly keeps making you think about money. And then that constant thought of thinking about money is then going to as a result, is going to make you start thinking of wicked ways to get quick money. Damn, how can I get this money fast? Or an opportunity might present itself, and you so lusting after this money that you take an opportunity to rob somebody, right? To go kill somebody. I'm just saying crazy shit, but sell some drugs or, fucking pimp out some women. It just, sky's the limit. Anything wicked that you could think of, that's what that poverty will do, right? But that perfect sweet spot in the middle is when you're right there in the middle, where you have your daily bread, your bills are paid, and you even got a little bit of money left over to indulge in certain, unlawful pleasures. I mean, Salakia, lawful pleasures, all right? Unsinful pleasures, all right? Whatever it is. If you like to travel, if you like to work out, and, you want to pay for, kickboxing lessons that's $150 a month, shit like that. If you like to go dancing, I don't know. If you like racing cars on a racetrack, shit like that. Anything. But the point is, the Most High will bless a brother in his truth that's of the elect, in a means where he'll give him a little bit more than just enough, because he knows that brother has a spirit of attachment to the kingdom and not to things of this world. All right, so don't be afraid to use this world, but don't abuse it, man. Very simple. I had to learn that over the years. I had, for my first 3 years in this truth, maybe 4, I was in the spirit of fuck it. I was in that fuck it mentality. World's ending, there's no point, if I have anything more, if I'm making money and I have nice things, I must not be of the elect. I was in that mentality, and it cost me, it put me under a lot of stress, and it put me in a financial hole that was completely unnecessary and self-inflicting. And as I grew in wisdom and knowledge, I learned to understand that that's why it's so important to read the scriptures. There were many prophets, or not even just prophets, there was many great men in the scriptures that were financially stable and secure and very faithful. So you don't have to separate the two. But the reason why finances is always the top topic of discussion is because we live in a world that is dominated by money. It costs to do everything. It costs to eat, it costs to breathe, it costs to live, it costs to sleep. So it's very important that as a man, especially brothers with kids, that you put yourself in a position to where you don't have to stress and constantly think about money. You want to be in a position to where you're living within your means, you're smart with your finances, you make just enough to where you can pay your bills and have a little bit extra to put up, so that you don't have to worry about shit when shit go wrong. And shit's going to go wrong, but at least you get the mentality where the Most High is going to protect you and deliver you, man. So Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm going to leave it there. Until next time, shalom.